I got links out, but everybody's got like storms and stuff. Or company or whatever. I got links out. Oh, there's y'all can hear me now. Everybody's got like storms and y'all can hear me say that twice. What's up, Brian and Mail Dog? May not be very many people jump in here tonight. I got a few links out to a few folks. But I forgot to mute to do my flicker. It should be better now. Could be. No guarantees. This is me rearranging my world. Hello, Sam. Oh. What, you sitting around chasing rain or something? Hey, just a uh, what? Ah, as Sir Robert of the North. AC 103. Was you at the meeting in Tennessee? Monsignor? I washed the outside of my coffee cup. I didn't wash the inside, just the outside, because I was like, wow, that's nasty. Thought that was you. His camera kept going fuzzy and stuff. Brian, hold on. I'm going to have to go get me some tinfoil. That's, hold on. I'm talking to my brother from another mother. Anyhow, AKK and people that are sneaking in while I'm doing stuff I shouldn't be doing. Hey, Daniel, God is my judge. Sharpie dude. Who else? Bullfrog. Hey, Uncle Al. Hello, Dennis. AP, the Woodsman Project. And guns. Stuff. Hey, Daniel. I don't know if I can send you a link or not. Let's see. You have to send me a email, Daniel, so I could send you a link. You can tell these people all about them Glocks and stuff, how much better they are than them other guns. I actually watched it twice.
Now.
Guns. That gummit. I got to come up with something to do in here. I do the thing. I'll do the whoosh there. Oh, that actually looks really cool on mine. I don't know how it looked on y'all's. Hold on. Yeah, I'm gonna have to send him something now. Sounds. We'll send him a mail. Go. That's funny. I need to. Yeah. Why didn't it pull up? Because I typed it in, what he sent me, and it pulls up then. So I knew he'd sent it to me before. Why would you do that? Oh.
Just send him a screenshot of that.
All right. Hold on. Oh, there it is. Isn't this exciting? There. See if that works. I don't have a clue. I honestly wish I knew what I was doing. Dude, I didn't notice this. Uncle Al, I didn't notice a single bug until I went out there and got in my truck and made it. Got to the end of the driveway, turned and headed for the highway, and then they come out of everything. We had a problem with flying a while ago. Those crop dusters are the loudest of the crop dusters, those little Polish fly-majiggers. Yeah. Everybody's either having weather or storms or something. Still not sure what they were spraying. Yes, you do. As I could sit here and sketch one out while I was talking to y'all. Yeah, I couldn't smell it a while ago, but if it's drifting on the air, they better not have been spraying for that stuff that they spray on the mesquites or whatever, because If it drifts, it'll kill everything. It'll kill every tree on my property. And if you can smell it, it's drifting.
Drifting. Going this way.
Did they have any proof that they were closing, Brian Morlock, did they have any proof that they were closing more than one observatory? Just out of curiosity. Now, if it's Dabu 7 or somebody, we can all just breathe easy. Was it news articles or I sent you one. I'll send it again though. He will not give me, that's funny. See if it did it right that time. Well, you'd think there'd be videos of it. I know that there's been videos floating around from 8 or 10 years ago about that thing flying in front of the sun. So y'all think it's gonna be aliens? I was right this whole time. There you go. I was right this whole time to be preparing for alien invasion. Hey, Daniel is now in here with us.
Yep, how you doing, Wes? I just got to get the side chat up here.
That's pretty good. So now we got something to talk about. Hey,
Sure.
there we go. Now we got a lobby full of folks. Well, we got a pink screen that's dash out. So.
Hey, I can't stay on this thing right now. I just saw the invitation. I figured I'd come in and say hello.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, well, I'm still at work. Don't tell nobody.
Okay. Yeah, don't tell anybody that Dash is on here still at work.
Yeah, don't do that. That'd be bad.
That would be bad. Anyway.
All right. Yeah.
All right, man. Thanks for stopping by.
Later.
Later. That was cool. That's it. Everybody, I figured the first date in here could be in the party. Oh, I'm supposed to turn off my camera.
So what are you doing there? What's going on, Wes?
Not a lot. Do up. Hey, Brad. There's people coming in that I am not seeing them. Oh, Hidden Harvest.
Yeah.
Bug out, Brad. See, I call him Bob. Hidden Harvest. Bug out, Brad. Anyway, so Daniel, what do you think is going to be the cause of the latest internet fiasco about what's going to end the world?
Oh, what, besides the censorship and their propaganda that they're always putting out?
Yeah, something original. There's going to be something new.
I just think they're pushing their agenda, and they're just going to push it and push level-headed people right out, and just keep brainwashing the youth.
Well, yeah, I know that's the plan. It's been working. Have you seen the new Prager University ad that they run about leftist versus liberal versus conservative or whatever?
No, I haven't seen that.
There, is that better, he said?
Yes, right. That's much better. It's I hadn't seen it until today, and it sits there and it shows how the left has actually taken over the liberal moniker or whatever to make the liberals sound worse than they are. I mean, granted, I don't agree with the liberal stance on a lot of things, but you know, I was really impressed with the ad and the fact that, you know, leftists are communists, socialists, one world government, blah blah blah, all that kind of stuff. Liberals are big government but equal freedoms. And that Prager deal, they break stuff down really really well. I was trying to share it to Facebook when the option to share it evaporated. Go figure.
Yeah, I just know that we left the ability to send private messages and stuff, so anything to make it a little harder.
In the, what do you call it? The fact that now the chat replays, which means we basically give them to keep track and monitor everything we say in the live chats now. You know, they kind of snuck that in there.
Yeah, I mean, I stopped doing live chats a long time ago, so I just know that they did change where you can either enable it or disable it.
Oh, the replay, but
Right.
you know, all disabling it does is keeps it from playing back for the people that watch it again. It doesn't stop it from being recorded.
So they can take a look at it and see if you were talking about anything they disagree with, so they can give you a strike later.
Yeah. So, and I don't think it's so much the strike. I think it's that way they can figure out. They can run it through the algorithm because the algorithm cannot understand me when I talk any better than y'all can, apparently. Not if that what do you call it, closed caption thing is any kind of proof at all. What was it? Go Daddy Daddy or Yes Daddy Daddy or what was it? I don't even know.
If they want to enter the drawing, they've got to go on there and comment Daddy Daddy.
Yeah. On that giveaway video I did or whatever, that's the closed caption says if you want to enter the giveaway, you've got to comment Daddy Daddy in closed captions or whatever. So one guy actually caught it, and that's what he commented in the deal. I was like, what is that all about? What are we talking about over here? Anything good?
No, you stay out of the chat.
Oh.
So, Mrs. Wessash, you don't like the way that I usually talk in my videos, so I'm going to talk to you this way tonight. Is that any better?
Much better.
All right. Thank you. But Mr. West, you can know there can only be one.
Only one. Just one. That's okay. I can't do a Sean Connery. I do a pretty good impersonation of me sometimes. I can do a small onion, imitate small onion.
Oh, that's okay. You just go to Australia, they die for this American accent.
Yeah, and that's she was a bar manager for a while, and there was a lot of guys from Australia here, and they'd go in the bar, and she would just like just sit there and listen to them talk. I'm just like, okay, they just talk funny. Then I mean, it's nothing against Australians if anybody all are funny people. Just saying that it's really hard to understand what y'all are saying sometimes because y'all use words that don't exist sometimes. But so do we, like chingadera. I mean, who knows what a chingadera is?
Oh, one of your pill bottles.
Nobody knows what a chingadera is. A thingamabob. Yeah, somebody said a thingamabob. Who was that? Really close to a thingamabob. Only they usually live further south.
Now, is Cooking 1.5 somebody we know that goes by Cooking Preparedness 101?
I don't know. This I saw his name pop up, but hey, war girl. I hadn't seen him in here before, so it's possible. Hey, do we know you? Cooking 1.5. That crop duster was flying by at, I don't know, a couple hundred miles an hour. Well, it wasn't that bad. It sure seemed like probably maybe 125. Quick. So, uh, okay.
No, Wes, I just popped in over there at that 1.5's channel. No, that's not 101. That is totally somebody new with a brand new channel.
Cool. No, I had never caught this in here. I've had Prepper Madness jump in a few times. I went to the other Friday night thing, but again, I couldn't comment or anything, so I did this again. So, wait a minute. Hold on. That's quite.
Wes, do you still have your TV hooked up, or did you go totally offline like I did?
Oh, I got no satellite or anything out here. Nothing.
All right. I was just wondering if we could get any news updates about Boston.
Only thing I get from about the Boston thing is the newspaper and stuff like that, and I know somebody screwed up a when they were changing out the, what do you call it? They were replumbing something and they didn't regulate the pressure right or something like that. That's the story they're pushing anyway. That's all I know about it. It's really hard to find out the truth about things anymore. So used to the local news would put it out. You know, they'd tell you what was going on. And then the local news always had, you know, internet newspapers that you could go to and you could read. You might not get all of it. And you had to deal with the ads on the side, maybe a little pop-up window or something that you had to read. And the longest distance I've shot anything with this rifle, that one, a little over 250 yards. The scope is actually zeroed for 200 right now. I have to aim low when I'm in a stand or whatever. I have to aim low. And trust me, if when y'all get through watching the hog hunting videos, you will figure out that I forgot that and I don't want to hear anything about it.
That's where a lot of people, they get into this whole thing. I can shoot 500 yards or 1,000 yards. Most of your shots are going to be within 20 to 30 yards.
What the I don't know if it was this one or the 700, but absolutely the most thrilling, what do you call it, episode of buck fever I have ever suffered through in my entire life. All played out. Saw the animal at 125 yards and had to wait for him to make 150 yards before I squeezed the trigger, and then had to watch him run 150 yards and turn and run away. And I was actually fixing to discharge I got another round in, found him in the scope, and was coming up his body, fixing to lead him and put off another round when the scope went over where his heart would be, and I saw the spew. I'm like, well, just let him do what he's going to do.
Yeah.
Good night, normal. But that was an audit. The guy was putting up high fence. He didn't want him on his property, and anywhere else they charge you $2,500 to hunt audit. Oh, okay, cool, cooking. Anyway, he said if you see one, shoot it. He said the only thing he didn't want us to shoot was the Sika deer.
Yeah. Sika.
And he said, Audads, he says, if you see a herd, just keep shooting until you get as many of them dead as you can. This guy, they usually come in packs or whatever, herds. They'll usually travel, 15, 20 to a bunch. This guy was all by himself. And when we got him back up, he ran down into a draw of all places and drug his big fat butt up out of there. Got him opened because he was quartering perfect away. I mean, he was perpendicular to me, and the bullet went in, took out the first lung. It did like it was supposed to. It mushroomed out, took off the top of his heart, and shredded his other lung and blew out a rib on the other side. It was. I cannot believe he ran. It broke ribs on the other side, and there was shrapnel come out the other side. It didn't. Yeah. But I can't believe that animal ran that far.
Yeah, they'll normally go about 80 to 100 yards.
And deer I neck shoot just cause. And him, I was shaking so bad I didn't think I'd ever be able. Because same thing, the gun was sighted for 200 yards. So because I'm in Kentucky pretty good.
Yeah.
And I didn't, I was going to shoot it because he was so pretty, and I'd never seen it. That was the first one I'd ever seen. First one I ever seen, first one I ever killed, last one I ever killed. And anyway, it was fun. It was a blast. That has got to be the most delicious animal I've ever eaten in my life. Doesn't taste anything like deer. Didn't taste like goat. It was almost like beef, honestly.
The two that I've heard that's the best. One is elk, and the other one is moose.
Elk is good. We had some moose. Guy went hunting and brought back, and he gave us some when I was younger. All I can remember about it was like super chewy. I think he probably shot a really big one or a really old one or something like that. I don't trophy hunt though. I can show y'all every one of the set of antlers I have back there, and I don't, if it's old and tough, I'll let him go on. I don't want to eat.
You can only eat so much trail bologna.
Exactly. Now, if I see a 2 or 3 doe come in and You know, there's a little one, then one a little bit bigger, and then there's a big doe in the front. She's going to have a really bad day. That's the way it is. Never, here's a rule for you when you go to a deer camp. Never leave your gun unattended.
Because there's always an idiot.
A guy took and cranked the gun 3.5 full turns out and was going for a neck shot on a doe and blew the testes and the back leg off of a little nubbin that was standing in front of her he was standing probably 10 foot further out, but maybe a couple of feet or 1.5 foot something in front of her. So when I shot, I missed her. And anyway, you only get 2 bucks in this county. I had to use one of my buck tags on a 30-pound deer.
So what, that guy start laughing and tell you he did that?
Nope. But
No.
there was only one person that could have done it. And, anyway, he was gone shortly after that.
Yeah, no doubt.
He's in prison now, so I don't even care. Going to find out he was everything. He would often offer his services to babysit his nieces and nephews.
He's lucky he's not dead.
Yeah, when we were out there on the lease, we could have solved lots of problems. I mean, because stuff happened. 14 children, I think. And that's
someone like that there should be put in a hole.
People always talk about all the bad people from prison getting out and how we're going to have to watch out for it. You know, shoot anybody you see in a white shirt or striped clothes or orange jumpsuit on sight. At least you know those people are criminals. The ones that you're going to have to worry about are the doctors, the lawyers, the Sunday school teachers, the junior high teachers, the elementary teachers, the people that are Taekwondo teachers.
Yeah.
The
ones that get in a position where they're always around kids and because of not the right reasons.
It's, you know, when they don't, right now they won't touch one with a 20-foot pole because they don't want to mess up their situation. I have counseled, and I'm sorry this went so dark, chat room, but I have counseled children and adults that have dealt with this, and I know how it works. It's, you know, you don't know you don't know who they are until you know who they are, you know what I mean?
Then dealing with it and helping people through it, the ramifications, I mean, it's talking about multiple people through a lifetime
of junk. I was told, you know, for all y'all that don't know, I'm a recovering addict. How long? 29 years. And the last NA meeting I went to, they told me I couldn't come back because this guy, you know, everybody does the hello, my name's Bob, and all that to do the methamphetamine or whatever. And this guy stood up and he says, my name's yada 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 dirtbag, and I have an addiction. It's not like y'all's, but it's an addiction. It's a sickness, and I have to try to work my way through it. And you know, I didn't realize it was a problem until it affected. And this is his. Where I can still quote him. until it affected my own children. And I was like, you pedophiles. I cleared 3 rows of seats before they got me PNAbbed. I used to have a little bit of a temper. Also, I have always carried a long knife. They had to take me down. I was going across the hills and I had the knife. He was not going to injure his children again. So I'm better than that now.
Oh, you were being nice about it. I just would have plugged him.
So exactly what you care. Back then, that was 2 years before, no, a year before I met you. So, that would have been, there wasn't no concealed carry or anything here then. You could have one, you could carry whatever, you could have a pistol laying up on your dashboard if you wanted to. You have 14 guns in your back window, nobody would say a word to you. But you just couldn't put one in your pocket.
All right.
So, anyway, yeah.
But they're trying to mainstream that now and trying to normalize it.
Yeah, they're trying to normalize all kinds of things, and it's the spread of, I don't think it's Islam trying to take over the world. I think they're just trying to get people over here that will destabilize us.
Right, divide and conquer.
If they can get us destabilized enough, then they can justify a police state.
They want to get us all divided. They want to take morals out. They're flipping to where wrong is right and saying right is wrong. So, and then they're minimalizing the flag, the Constitution, and how constitutionalists are bad, just so people get used to the idea of their country is not great, and they get rid of that individualist idea of being like an American, so they can be more in tune to becoming adjusted to a new world order.
Which will never work. I just don't know if they're going to try to do that before or after the Civil War, because I think if they can trigger civil unrest, that will be what they, something like that is what they need to push it on through.
Well, if they get the civil unrest, they got enough kind of the UN.
That's I started spray. I got blue spray paint and started spray painting blue dots on stuff, so I'll know. I can reflexively go to the blue if I need to. Take your silhouette targets and spray paint a blue hat on them, kind of deal. We have no need for the UN at all. Positive note, though, the B-52s have quit flying. They ain't even no B-1Bs up there right now. They ain't flying nothing, come to think of it.
Really? Don't have nothing in the air? Why not?
I didn't think of that until just now. There's always something in there.
Yeah, because the B-52s are old. They should be getting out of commission. But they should be having the B-1Bs and the F-111s.
We get B-52 flyovers, high-level B-52 flyovers.
Yeah. I want you to check out his channel. Well, he would have a shout out. LS explained it. He's the one.
Yes. What's his name? Hey, freaking Doug.
Edmund's Life.
Edmund's Life. Okay. What does it look like? The content?
Life.
Him doing stuff? All right. Well, I still don't see his name popping up here. Way up there. we were having a conversation. She usually just chimes in whenever she sees something I need to pay attention to. But I'm not real good about just reading people's name. For y'all that are new to the chat, especially this one, me and Daniel are pretty much just going to be talking, and y'all get to listen, and then y'all get to just completely ignore us over here on the side. And if somebody says something I need to be aware of, Mrs. West will yell at me or throw something at me or whatever, and then I'll respond. So it's nothing personal, but it's really not that exciting to have me sit here and read Just Age's comment. It's a load of poop. What are we loading a poop about now? What's that? Oh.
But anyway, that living the Edmonds Live channel, hey, would you kind of give my channel a shout?
I will give your channel a look-see. And I'll if
I'm going to turn my
depends on
camera
what kind
on.
of steak it is. Do you eat your steaks rare, Daniel, or you eat your steaks well done?
Medium rare.
Medium rare?
Yep.
If it's seasoned beef, I prefer it medium rare. If it's fresh beef, I like it rare. Seasoned beef, it's a little tender to go rare, you know what I mean? Just saying. You know the difference, right? Seasoned beef.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people don't even realize they're going into these places and getting this steak, and they're like, oh, this is so good. And they don't realize it's a seasoned steak, which means it's about to turn.
Yeah. It's been hanging for a while.
It's been hanging for a little while. I love it. It's delicious, but I mean, there's the way they do it, they get it right there, and then they quick freeze it. And then when you order your steak, they take it out and they serve it. It's, yeah. That's why the seasoned beef's usually thin cut. Oh, we might get another one.
I see Rob Painless is out there in the side chat.
Yeah, he's out. I think he's driving or something. Rob.
He's home now.
He's home now. Do you have anybody there for technical support, Rob, or if you want to jump in here? Basically, you download the app on your phone, and then whenever you get this weird sound on your computer, you click it, and then the next thing you're in here. It's easy. Or download it, and then when somebody sends you a link, you click it. It does the rest. It's really not that hard. It's easy to get in the deal. It's a little bit harder to set it up on the YouTube. So,
Staff Sergeant is in the house.
Hey. I was gonna send him a link, but he was like, what do you call it? He's been busy.
Yeah, he's been on the road.
So,
well, he's been on the road. So, hey, tell me, where all did you go when you went on your road trip? Who all did you visit? Yeah.
We visited Trey's Dad on YouTube, The Revolting Man, C103, Brian Morlock, Sasquatch, Step 1, and that's about it, isn't it? We met some other people, but I can't say their names.
Chipper and Guns.
Yeah, Chipper and Guns. We met Guns. We went to Guns. Guns is. I think he stole those kids, man. They're too cute. Pretty sure he stole those kids.
Had to let my dog pack out here and come out to the porch and do my best impression of the smoking man from the X-Files.
There you go. Man, that is like, I really should do mine like that. That looks really cool. The smoking man from the X-Files. I love that guy. He's like, he always knew what was going on, but they never did explain how he knew what was going on. kind of thing. It made you wonder if he smoked because he was addicted or because the planet he came from was smoky and he had to have the smoke in his lungs so he could function or whatever, like on that Millennium or whatever, that movie where the people coming over and
I don't
stealing.
think he was an alien, was he? I just thought he was just an old government, knew where all the bodies were buried guy.
See, I never could figure out if he was the old government guy who just knew everything, or if he had inside stuff and he wasn't actually helping them.
He was using them to help further his plan.
Yeah, you just like, it was really good TV.
Yeah.
But I mean, like I say, I don't have TV anymore, so.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, getting rid of the TV is the best thing that ever happened to my family. Got rid of that. The kids got all A's, and my blood pressure went down, and I started, I was recovering from surgery and stuff like that. So I'm boom, up out of bed, doing things outside, lost weight. My cholesterol's normal now. So if you guys even thinking about getting rid of your TV and cable, do it.
Yes, we got Netflix, but I don't hardly ever. We have a TV, and I use it every once in a while to, if somebody will mention a movie or whatever that I haven't seen. Like I watched Hostiles the other day, and that is a very deep movie. They don't hardly talk, but it's like you're just like, wow, that's intense. So,
it's got to the point where I'll just watch TV maybe a movie on Netflix or something like that once every couple months. But speaking of characters, Smolo.
Yo.
hey, look at there. He snuck in. I didn't even see him down there.
How's it going, guys? Trying to figure out how to get rid of my camera here real quick.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah.
Put some electrical tape. Just throw some electrical tape over it. Up in the top of the middle of the screen, you take your mouse and move it up there. You'll see a little camera icon. You can click it and you can turn it off. Just move the mouse around.
Yeah, I don't have a mouse.
Oh, are you on your phone? If you're on your phone, there you go. You got it. That's like the coolest little bug ever, honestly.
Hi, Smolo.
You hear Smolo?
He's probably muted too. Unmute yourself.
Go ahead. He's popping onto the screen.
Somehow I got rid of the audio.
You're good.
There you go. So, Smolo, what do you think the end of the world is going to be like? Or what do you think is going to cause the end of the world? Don't say no Twinkies.
I missed your question.
What do you think is going to be trigger for the end of the world?
Trigger for the end of the world, huh?
It's a hypothetical, whatever. It's what asked Daniel to, and it got a big old long conversation started that we've been running on until you jumped in.
Did I fix my camera?
Say again?
Did I fix my camera?
Yeah, you're invisible, dude. You're
invisible, man. I'm a cricket. Awesome. I couldn't tell on my end yet. Okay. End of the world.
Guess we could have gave him a heads up, but that would have taken the fun out of what just happened. So roll.
I don't know. Man, there's so many things. What could trigger the end of the world?
I'm going to turn my volume up.
And things.
Just pick. It doesn't have to make sense, man. It does not have to be a real scenario.
Well,
We can go with anything. I've got a new one. I'm saving it for later.
well, well, that Prince feller started World War II with the pull of a trigger, or World War One. So I mean, it could start with something as simple as that. You never know.
Yeah, I look at it like it's going to be a combination of things. They're getting our youth so used to putting down the country and infighting and dividing us all here. So, and getting used to a new world, a one world government. So through maybe the combinations are through disease, financial collapse, local areas where you have, an earthquake, or the hurricane comes in, where you got regular natural disasters. Just a combination where they're just going to look for more of a one world government, and that's my doomsday end of the world.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one there, Daniel. I could see that happening for sure.
I think it's going to be a slow burn. I don't think it's going to. There's going to people are going to think it's the trigger and going to think it's the end, because there's going to be these things that look like it's it, but it's just yet another small step.
Right. It's been a slow burn since the '60s. It's been a slow burn. That's when all this whole leftist stuff started. In the '60s here in the U.S. anyways.
I think, yeah, the '60s is right, Daniel. But honestly, I think it was the 1860s. I think it's been going a long, long, long time. The top of the food chain has changed their minds a little bit and changed positions here and there, but the elite, if you will, the ones that are spearheading this thing, because there ain't no poor person out there in power trying to get all the poor people on an equal pay scale. That would be stupid. I mean, why would you want to do all that work just so everybody, so you wind up with the same paycheck that the people that just let you do all the work do? I mean, it's always going to be them and us. And the only people that would benefit from a reset where there was one ruling class and then everybody else are the top 1% of the 1%. Now they've got a lot of people backing them, because then they get to be the 1%. So,
they want the ruling class. I mean, look at what they did with the kids already with Common Core, where there's no difference between the kid who studies all the time and gets the best grade in the class to the one that doesn't do anything. They want all the grades to be equal and fair in school. So now they're putting it out there where why should the pay all be equal and the same?
What the hell kind of crap is that? What is it? And that's me and old man Bush got some issues. No Child Left Behind. If he's dumb, leave him behind. And I don't mean that. That sounded really harsh, but if you are a C student, if you're a solid C student, when you graduate high school, college needs to know you're a solid C student.
Well, the college just don't care anymore. What they're putting out is liberals.
Against you. Remember, he was going to get smaller to help him. So, not going to watch you back.
Y'all too. What y'all doing? Mrs. just reminded me that y'all was gonna sneak up. How did I wind up with the two guys that was planning on holding me down and sharpening me anyway? But anyway, paranoid at all now. I'll just sit here and be perfectly.
I was just trying to help.
Thank you.
See, everybody wants Smolo on their prepper team because he's young and's got a good back still.
Yeah, I'm 40 years old, homie.
In 40 years old. Hey, did you hear back from was it Winchester? On
Yeah, I heard back from them today. I had to send them a little bit more information, and basically said they were going to send me a check for, I don't know, the amount of the rounds that were bad or the whole box. I'm still a little confused on that, but I have to mail them the unused rounds or the ones that were bad, and they'll send it back to me. Something. I don't know. I don't know what it's going to be.
Well, they hopefully they'll be righteous by you or whatever, but they want the unused rounds. They want to find out, or the ones that didn't go off. They want them. They want to find out what happened.
Well, I can visually look at it and see the primers. They're set too deep in there. There's quite a bit of a difference, even the way it struck the ones that actually fired. It was real deep on those, and I mean it barely touched these other ones.
Their machine was oversetting the primers.
Yep, 4 of them in the same box.
Yeah, just set that box to the side because pretty soon you'll see a recall and a refund on them.
Yeah, that's pretty much what they were going to tell me. I bought these the day before at Tractor Supply, so I mean they should have been good, but yeah, I had pretty good groupings with the same stuff about 2 weeks before. Ooh, excuse me, I had them in there, practically touching each other with the same ammo, and I had 2 other types had a little bit heavier grain, and these silver tips also. I think that were still 130 grain.
Hey,
yeah, this did the best, and this time it was all over the place. I mean, it could be just me bad shooting.
does your 270 shoot different with heavier grains at different ranges?
Yes.
I mean,
yes.
Like, just a few grams up or down, and it's a completely different ballpark with mine.
Yep. It will. I mean, I can still keep it in, within a couple inches of each other, but sometimes they're way off. And it could just be me. But that setup I was using, I should have been on it every time, And I know I was hitting them a couple weeks before.
Do you do any reloading?
Actually, Staff Sergeant sent me a reloader. I've got to get some dies for it still. And I got an uncle that gave me, he's got the hookup for some powder and primers for pretty much anything I need. So
Get together with an old timer that's been reloading for years, and you will never regret it.
Yeah, that's pretty much my uncle. He's really my second cousin, so he's like my dad's age. But it's weird. It's not weird like that, but he's really my second cousin. I've just always called him uncle.
As long as you're not dating his daughter, you're okay.
Right.
What do you call it? I inherited all my brother's reloading stuff, and I have yet. I keep telling him, looking at it and say, man, you need to get that out and you need to use it. And I haven't reloaded a round since I was 13 years old. So, it's all there. It's all good. I'm shooting rounds that he reloaded. I got the reloading stuff, that rifle, and I don't know, 500-600 rounds of ammunition.
Yeah, reloading's, for hunting purpose, just a little single stage reloading press. You can't go wrong.
And I think that one's out there you got to rotate it. I think you pop the primer. I won't be wrong about this. You pop the primer and something else and resize it, I think. And then, like I say, it's been forever. I've got all the books and stuff. I did not get his Bible on the 270 though, on the what grain worked the best and stuff like that. I did not get all that.
Well, with new powders nowadays, the old books are they're out of date. because of the new
Right.
formulas with the powders. So you want to get a 2 or 3 reloading books that are current, and just compare them because none of them agree with either of them. And then you just tune it in to your rifle and make sure you keep all that data. That way, you know you can load all your bullets the same for the rest of your life.
That's what I was talking about. My brother made a Bible for this rifle,
Okay.
and this is what he called them all. He had a Bible for the 270 or the 700, and for his 25-06, and every rifle he had. Uh, he would go empty. He'd go buy store bought. He'd empty it. He'd reload it. He'd shoot it. He would just go out, and he didn't pull the trigger on anything at less than 200 yards. He just why? You know, he would shoot shorter than that if he was shooting a 22 or something. But you know, he didn't see any reason to waste ammunition on. Now he would. What do you call it? He would aim at the bullseye at 100 yards and check his pattern, but you know, just to make sure that you know the grouping or whatever. But then he tried to match that grouping at the 200 yard mark or whatever on the cross line.
Yeah, so he'd have it zeroed for 200, knew it would shoot maybe either an inch low or an inch high at 100, because the bullet'd still be rising out to hit the zero at 200. It might be high at 250 and right on again at 300, then maybe an inch low at 400.
You see, that's it depends on store bought, and people are going to argue this with me. Store bought, that Winchester stuff that he's shooting, this gun, if you zero it at 200 yards and then you go down and you aim at the bullseye every time, you are going to be 6.5 inches high at 100 yards. And if you go to the 250 mark, you're going to be shooting about 5 inches
My phone is about
low.
to aggravate me.
Sorry.
Join.
That these things drop like a rock.
What caliber is that?
It's 270.
A 270 that shoots that much of an arc?
Yep, and that's
270 is supposed to be a
25
flat.
watt 6 isn't as bad, but 270 arcs like crazy.
I always thought a 270 was a pretty flat shooting rifle. 'Cause that was the
243 is pretty flat shooting rifle, but
Yeah,
I don't like
it
the
is.
240.
Well, that's kind of small, you know. The 243 is.
But the thing is too, the reloads that he's got, the soft tips that are in there, I don't know how much lead. I don't know what the grain is. I want to know what the grain is on them bullets because it drops 8 inches. Those puppies are heavy.
Yeah, just get a bullet puller and weigh them.
And there's one in there. It's not a puller. It's like you put it in there and go boink, and the bullet comes out. Like I say, I'm not a reloading guy. I wish I was.
Yeah, I gotta let another dog in the house.
I mean,
Not bad.
what kind of rifle was that you were shooting the other day, Molo? What was that?
It's a Savage Axis 270.
I've never shot the Savage. I've saw it a 30-06 in Savage and a 222 in Savage.
Cool thing about that rifle is, well, I think just about any of those Savage bolt actions is you can change the barrel out on them if you want to. Get a custom barrel.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I could get better optics on this. I just ain't got the money to throw down for my daughter's scope.
Shoot, that one came on that rifle, the Bushnell. Brand new. I think it was about $350, $370, something like that for the whole setup.
That's a pretty good deal. Still with, I wish Leland S was in here. I talked with him. He had a 730-06. And he had a really nice optic on it, and he traded it for, I don't know, a bag of Cheetos or something. Can't remember.
That's one thing about rifles now. You can buy a really good rifle that, you know, that compares to a custom gun of 10 and 20 years ago, and that they will actually outshoot the old custom gun. But you can get it for like $275 to $300 now.
Yeah.
But when it comes to optics, you're going to be spending $300 and up for decent optics. So if you don't have good optics on your gun, you might as well just use iron sights.
Yep.
Speaking of, they're supposed to open a range here. Let's see, I think it goes out to 300 yards. They're supposed to open that by October, and then by first of the year, they're going to open it up to 1,000 yards, and that's pretty good for around here.
Yeah.
A lot of trees in the way of everything most times.
What state you in, Smolo?
Florida, North Florida. A lot of tropical, a lot of trees.
Yeah, it's pretty flat out there, so I guess they used a bulldozer to knock out a lot of trees so you can shoot that far.
Yeah, man.
Hey, Painless, you still in here? Oh, never mind. I was going to ask him. He's got a place to shoot. I forget. I asked him once how far out we could get. I think it's 650 yards as far as they can go out there.
I'd be happy to hit 500.
I ain't lied. You know, if I got to hold on to the gun, I ain't shooting at anything past 100 yards. If I got to, if I can put it on a rest or something.
Yeah. Lean up on a tree.
Yeah, a big tree.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, there's nowhere else that I'm going to be able to shoot that far anyway. I mean, you get out here in the woods and, 100 yards, that's pushing it. That's a long way.
Yeah, 100 yards is a long way in the woods.
Yeah, it's a long way. A lot of little branches and twigs to hit on the way and knock my bullet off target.
Yeah, a lot of people knock me for having my 300 blackout, but it's like, hey, you're out in the woods.
Mm-hmm.
That 100 yards, you're lucky if you're going to see that far.
Yep. And my brother, he's got a 45-70. He'll just shoot through whatever.
Yeah, 45-70. You can hunt everything in the continental United States, Canada, Alaska, and that includes everything in the zoos.
Yeah, man.
I want a 357 lever action because I'm sorry, for a brush gun, you cannot beat it. That slug is going to go through the tree limb and shoot what you're shooting at. I don't know if the 38 would perform as well, but that 357 or even the 44 mag, either one would be an excellent brush gun. That's why the 30-30, I personally believe the 30-30 to be superior to the 308 because of the shape of the slug. That's it. Calm down.
Well, that and the bullet is traveling slower. I mean, a 308, if it hits something, that bullet is going to explode at those speeds, but the 30-30 is traveling slower, so it's not going to explode when it hits a blade of grass.
Yeah. Just Chipper, if that's true, you just need to box all them scary things up and send them to me, and I'll put them somewhere safe where you ain't got to worry about it. All right, Mr. Hula Hoop. That's in. Who's watched the movie Jeremiah Johnson?
Oh yeah, love it.
You haven't watched it 57 times. You watched me watch it 57 times. That's the difference. Anyway.
Okay. Yeah. Wes asked her what's the best caliber.
Yeah, what's the best caliber?
Yeah, Mrs. Wes. when it comes to muzzle loaders.
He wanted a 50 caliber Hawkins, but all they had was a 32, and that's why he was so excited when he found what's his name?
Hatchet Jack.
Hatchet Jack. Look frozen to the tree because I'll give you this 50 caliber Hawkins gun. Blah 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 blah. It killed the bar that killed me. I hadn't watched it much at all. Stumbled on the guy's name, but I knew he slept in a cave with a cougar.
Yeah, that cougar never got used to him.
And that was such a good movie. But yeah, the 50 caliber, it was a bigger surface area, so it had a little bit more kachunka behind it. Plus, you didn't have to worry about twigs and stuff as much. I researched all that when I was younger because I wondered what would be the difference between a 50 caliber and a this and a that. And there was a whole bunch of information at the library back then on why the 50 caliber Hawkins was so much more popular, why it was more popular than any other rifle of the era.
Yeah. And nowadays it's the 50 caliber, but you're shooting a 45 caliber bullet in a sabot sleeve because you're getting that, a faster trajectory and it's a lot flat shooting.
Can you still get the like you used to be able to get the 270 cartridge with a nylon sleeve that had a 223 or whatever in it, and those things would zing. Those were things with flatline. But I don't think you can buy those anymore.
I've never seen that. That sounds pretty cool though.
Yeah,
I wonder if they would.
60s, yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I was just wondering if they would tumble any.
Well, they would make them,
Go ahead.
They would make the barrels for the bullet they were shooting. But back in the 60s and 70s, all these wildcat rounds, you had the 257, the 264. I mean, that's how they developed the 270 was back in that era of all these hand loaders and guys having barrels made for them. But all those wildcat rounds.
Get them, and you could. But I think they kind of made them phase them out because, well, shortly after the projectile exits the end of the rifle, the nylon sleeve peeled away. Now it did carry through for the rifling or whatever, so you had a spinning rifle. I mean, it was spinning, and they were sick accurate, but I need to go through my old gun mag because you used to be able to buy that ammunition for any caliber you wanted. And that was the whole deal, was they were sold as varminting rounds or whatever. If you needed, a smaller, faster bullet, but you only had X caliber rifle or whatever, you could switch your 30-30 to a varminting gun just by changing your ammo, kind of deals the way they were sold. But there were, you got a projectile coming out that doesn't have any rifling on it. A little bit of a bad deal, I guess, for law enforcement, I would assume. That's the only thing I can figure out is why they stopped making them. But I've shot them. I know they're there. I need to check with my nephew, see if there's still any of that in my.
I think you're talking about the old paper patch.
No, it's the.
They put the nylon plastic sleeves on it.
Nylon plastic sleeve on the slug, and as it exited, just like the shotgun wad, it just fingered off, and the bullet kept going.
Yes, the paper patches evolved into sabots, and that's what you're talking about. Where they had the nylon over the bullet.
Nylon over the bullet.
Yeah, and that's what they do. Right now, that's big with the muzzle loaders because the 50 cal shoots a 45 with that nylon sleeve over the bullet, just like you're talking.
Yeah, I guess that would work in the muzzle loader. And see, when I do that's basically what I do when I don't make my own slug rounds for the shotgun. Is I make the slug, and then I fill the gap with plastic. So it fills the barrel all the way out, but then the plastic leaves and the projectile's going on. Now, you don't have to worry about. I don't shoot a 12 gauge slug in my 12 gauge. It's a little smaller and a little longer. And after about 20 yards, it starts going end over end. I like it. It's not designed to take down anything with 4 legs. So, who got trolled?
You did, Wes.
All right.
The VR troll.
Oh, the VR troll. Yeah. We have to do this. I keep expecting to get hit by a lily in the wild, but she hadn't thrown anything out there yet. It's taking too long to put up a video. I'm getting scared.
Wes, maybe you can get a wig and do an impression of Lily and make a video and troll her first.
I've got so many. If I had the time, I've got so many really good ideas for trolling her. Talking chickens and stuff. Did you see her? She took our egg and put it up there in that tree. There's options. She ain't in here, is she?
No, I haven't seen her.
She's over there in the storm and stuff. She may not be able to get on. So,
Smolo, what did they let you hunt deer with down there in Florida?
Just about anything you want. About like everywhere else. Seasons for this and that.
The only rules we got here in Texas is it's got to be a center fire. That's it.
Yeah, it has to be center fire, no rim fire, for sure.
Center fire rifle caliber. They had people out there shooting at deer with 25 autos. So they had to make it a rifle cartridge, center fire rifle cartridge.
I think it's pretty much like anywhere else.
I ain't never got to do any black powder hunting. I want to try it.
Yeah, me neither. Me neither. I don't own one.
Well, the new technology you have now with the black powder, it's just a single shot, high powered rifle.
Yeah, my brother's muzzleloader. Okay. You got this, you open it, it's a bolt action. You open it up and you put this little cartridge in there which holds the primer.
Yeah, the 209 primer.
You drop the powder, the pre-deal thing down in there. It's got the powder and stuff in it. Then you push a bullet down the end of it, and then you aim it, and you go bang. It's it's black powder. It's a muzzleloader, black powder, but it makes a lot of smoke or whatever. But it's deadly accurate. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, it's not. I'm talking. I want to do some. I don't know about flintlock. That'd be tricky, man.
No, the flintlock's really hard. You'd like get the Hawken, where you got you have a primer on a nipple at the end.
Yeah. Some or you ever see the Huntsman muzzle loader? It's it looks like a breakover shotgun, but you break it over and it's got the same thing. It's an insert that you put primer in, then you close it and you load it from the other end, and it looks like a single shot 12 gauge. What it looks like, but it's a black powder gun, and it's a little bit more challenging.
My godfather and his buddy had a machine shop, and they made that a gun like that out. They sleeved a shotgun to shoot a 45 caliber, and screwed in where they could use the 209 primer in the back where it broke open, and they
Yeah.
never got the patent on it.
Oh man.
If they would have got the patent on it, I would be one of those trust fund spoiled liberals today.
Yeah. See, that's the what do you call it? Those inserts or whatever for your 12 gauge or whatever. Those flipping things are expensive, but they have one that it's basically just the back end off of a 12 gauge. It's out of stainless steel or whatever.
Mhm.
But you put a primer in it, you put it in there, boom, you load your shotgun from the other end. It converts your regular 12 gauge into a muzzle loading 12 gauge is what it does. Ballisticproducts.com. I'm still trying to come up with the Schedule 80 Schedule 80 3/8 pipe or tubing rather for LS's cane. Yeah, the short lane adapters. They make short lane makes a 12 gauge or a shotgun primer cap that goes in your shotgun, your single. I wouldn't try putting it in a pump. That would suck. But you put it. It's made for your breakover, and it converts your breakover shotgun into a muzzle loader.
Right now.
Good night, Trickery. A what? Just out which one? They've got several shotguns out there. They've got one on the rack right now down at Walmart for $149. It's I can't remember, something or other 12. It's a 12 gauge pump, and it's $149. They have they sold some 410 pumps. I used to have the H&R they sold in a 410, a little breakover 410. I love that gun. No longer
Yeah,
on.
As a 410, you can get rabbits, squirrels, and then put a slug in it and get a deer.
Yep. 410, people always, 410 is not good for anything. Come here, let me shoot you with it. I mean, point blank range, even if you got body armor on, somebody pulls the trigger on that, even with bird shot, your ribs are broke. You're having a bad day. Maybe not at 30 yards, but inside the casa, you're having a bad day. I've killed. That's one of my other. I got that 410 shotgun, that little breakover, and gave it to my nephew, who we were raising at the time. We were bird hunting, and I shot a couple birds, and he shot 3 or 4 times. He said, "This gun ain't any good. Blah blah blah. I can't hit nothing with it." He wanted me to upgrade him to a 12 gauge. He had never hunted before, and you don't give somebody a cannon and teach them to shoot at a squirrel. You give somebody a squirrel gun, and then after they learn to shoot, and you let them shoot at bigger stuff with a bigger gun. The birds were coming in. I mean, we were getting 20, 30-yard shots on them, and if you know what you're doing, you can bring them down. But anyway, I said, "Well, give me the gun. Let me see, make sure there's not something wrong with it." And he handed me the gun. I put the shell in it, and sure enough, here comes 2 birds flying in. And I picked the front one. I lead it. And right as I pulled the trigger on that thing, the one that had been behind it had caught up and dove. So when I pulled the trigger, I knocked two dove out of the air with 1 410 round. totally not on purpose. It was 100% luck. But I said, seems to work fine. I handed him the gun back and I turned around. I had to fight hard not to laugh. But after that, he started bringing down birds. It's just, he was sure that gun wasn't worth anything, and it was fine.
Yeah, a lot of people just don't know that when you're shooting a shotgun, that the BBs when they come out, it's like a water hose. I mean, if you want to learn how to shoot a shotgun, go to the backyard, have your kids running around, and get your garden hose and be spraying them when they're running. You got to aim right in front of them, and they'll run right into the stream.
Run into the stream. It's like playing Galaga. You're not shooting at where the stupid bug is. You're shooting at where the bug's going to be. And whoa, that was a little bit Atari, wasn't it? But it's the same concept. That's why a lot of people don't like that one. What's that one game? SOCOM. They didn't like it because if you were shooting at somebody who was running with your sniper rifle, you actually had to lead them. You couldn't. The bullet wasn't there as soon as you pulled the trigger. It was entirely too realistic for first-person shooter game. People didn't like it. I liked it. I thought it was the coolest game ever. I've had to deal with video games for a long time. I had children, okay, and you either learn to play video games with them, or you don't get to interact much. Now, having played video games with them instead of letting them just play by themselves, I get to go fishing with them and hunting with them and camping with them. They make an effort to bring my grandkids to me. So they always knew that the video games were not real, which is important, I think. What we got going on? Oh, got feedback. Yeah, I've done that, Mike Gilbert. That's I actually picked that up from Dirty Rotten Dave Canterbury. So I am still on Xbox 360. I hadn't been able to convince myself that a video game is worth $400. So.
Oh, heck no. You can get a halfway decent pistol for that money.
Yeah, exactly. And there's a gun show this weekend. I'm not saying that I'm going to go purchase a gun. I'm just saying that I'm going to go to the gun show and see if there's anything good to not buy.
You going to hang out near the entrance to see what people are bringing in before they go out and sell it for $200?
Yeah. They frown on that now. You could like walk around with your gun or whatever, and somebody come up and talk to you. And, oh, I got this one, but I don't really like it. Let's trade or whatever.
Hey, a few months back over here, there was a guy that was in the parking lot doing just what you're talking about, and he took his pistol out to show it. Somebody dropped it, shot himself in the chest.
Oh wow! Well, you're supposed to unload that.
Yeah, he didn't make it.
I am. I got to answer this guy real quick. I was going to do one today, but I got stung by a vicious herd of wild rabid ants, and I had to take a Benadryl, and so I didn't die. So I didn't get to do it. That's like my favorite thing to do, and I usually do that on the weekends. It's like pretend like I got to sneak off and don't let anybody know what I'm doing. I just go like cook something. If you stick around though, there will be cooking on the Vogelzang. That's my second favorite thing to do is sit back there by the fire when there's ice all over everything and cook stuff.
What's that? Ice?
Go ahead, Smolo.
The wood burning stove.
What's ice?
What's ice? Oh,
Yeah, what's that?
that's
Well,
like
when it gets cold out? Is that
yeah,
stuff?
that's the Florida. Uh, it's what happens about 200-300 miles north of you every so often.
Yeah,
Y'all
up
got
around
snow.
dash country.
Yeah, up around where stuff besides gators and stuff live.
Up
Do
here
y'all
where
have,
us Yankees are.
yeah, do y'all have
Yeah.
any gators down there in your part of Florida?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, they're up here. We don't have the snakes like South Florida has, like the anacondas and or boa constrictors, whatever they have down there in the glades. They don't come this far up. It does get a little bit too cold for them up here.
What I'm afraid of is sooner or later somebody's stupid pet cobra is going to get out
Whew. Yeah,
because
that'd be
our climate's just fine for a cobra. They won't mind it one bit. And uh, when they're chilling and not ready to bite you, most people won't know the difference between a cobra and flipping coach whip. They
all right.
literally look like the same snake.
They do. I could see that.
And you got a guy thinking he's fixing to pick up a coach whip. Next thing you know, he's got 5 foot of cobra biting him on the face. Oh, this sucks. You kind of die. Uh, Evening, Nighthawk. I actually we had a coach whip cornered in yesterday. I was looking at, you know what? I was thinking, I was looking at the snake real careful. I'm like, other than the slender neck, which most people aren't going to take time to notice, the different. Not if you're from here, you see that color snake with those few little lines on the tail or whatever. You're like, oh, that's a coach whip. You got it. But literally, the only difference between the cobra and the coach whip is that little marking on the back of their flipping head and the little thick area on the neck where they have the extra skin to make the fin. That's it. They look almost identical other than that.
Wes, I just seen something that scares me
What's
for
that?
you. Your wife knows how to operate a backhoe.
Yes.
You better be very nice to that woman.
Yep. She can shoot. She knows how to operate a back. Come think of it, might not have been the best singing teacher in the whole wide world. But
Just as long as you didn't teach her how to shoot a gun, you're all right.
nope.
Wes, did you teach her how to shoot a gun?
She's a vet.
Taught me that.
She's an Army vet. So I married into that one. I had no choice. I did not know when we got married that she was a better shot than I am. That's a little embarrassing. But you guys BA about that. She's like pow 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 pow.
No, I'm just teasing you, Wes, because it's like this. What is Smolo doing?
Digging through a box of junk. Sorry.
No, there's no problem. I'm just saying it's good to have a wife that knows how to shoot and do that because she can understand our addiction, shooting guns.
They have cobras in the Philippines? I don't know.
In my prep restaurant.
What did he ask me?
Ever had chicken fried steak done in bacon grease?
Chicken fried steak and bacon grease? No. Aren't? Chicken fried steak and bacon grease it is. Oh, actually, the video I was going to do today, I was going to cook I slaughtered a goat, and I saved the fat or whatever. I was going to render the fat down, and then I was going to cook the goat's liver and heart in its own fat. And I was going to eat it. I didn't get to do that. So teaching myself to eat all the parts of the animal. That goat bacon was delicious. I know that. That's something I'm not going to forget.
There he is. The little stalker just entered the chat.
Oh. Hey, Lily in the Wild, the sweetest, nicest young lady ever. What are you doing?
The pain. It hurts. I gotta get some aspirin.
This is wondering, and I need to check, make sure she hadn't snuck a video up on it. I still can't figure out how to run that. Figure that up. I hadn't spent a lot of time on it. I confess that too. But the Prepper family or whatever Bushcraft family thing, I have it on my favorites. That's why I like the 410, Mike. I mean, it's the same thing as the Snake Charmer, the exact same setup, except for a different grip or whatever. And, you know, you didn't have to walk up to the snake. You could just, like, blow its head off from 10, 12 feet away. You didn't have to worry about it. Then you had to cut it off when you shot the snake in the face and it didn't have a face anymore. Perfect.
Lily didn't know that Daniel's in the side chat. She hasn't seen him yet.
And, oh, so she probably doesn't want to talk to that Daniel dude.
No, he's a jerk.
Yeah, I wouldn't have anything to do with the guy if I was her. And then you got this kid over here.
So, Wes, what is your opinion? Who is the most important person in your that not the name, but the job in your prepper, in a prepper group, any prepper group?
Man. The most important. You see, now you got me over barrel because I actually don't believe that any one position is more important than the other. Now, responsibilities, there's other people, there's things that have more responsibility than other, but most important.
I can rephrase it. Maybe I rephrased it wrong. What's the best job to have in a prepper group?
Now then, there you go. That would be the hunter. The guy doing the hunting would probably be the best job. Or maybe the cook. Well, no, the cook's too much work. Going out and getting the groceries would probably be the best one. And that doesn't count like going out and scouting the enemy camps and stuff, because those guys will get shot. But I would have to go with the funnest job. If I had to be like in a group and somebody wanted, which job do you want? I want to be the hunter, dude. I want to go like kill stuff and just be the hero every time I come back. What do you think it is?
I would think if you're a really good cook, I mean, you would actually, you'd have to get up early in the morning to have breakfast ready for everybody, but you would have actually the most power in the camp.
Yeah, the responsibility and respect. If you're a good cook, there you go. But the important. Let me explain this to you. Okay. if you have any kind of let's say we're making stuffed rabbits, okay? One person cuts the pattern for the rabbit. One person sews the body of the rabbit together. Another person sews the feet together. Another person stuffs the rabbit, and then somebody sews the head on. If you do away with the guy cutting the pattern, you don't got a rabbit. If you do away with the guy sewing the body, you don't got a rabbit. If you do away with the guy sewing the feet, you don't got a rabbit. Do away with the guy stuffing the rabbit, you don't got a rabbit. Do away with the guy sewing the head on the rabbit, you don't got a rabbit. There is no unimportant position in any team. You don't have a water boy. It's water, or somebody has to step up and be the water boy. There's no such thing as an unimportant or a more important. The guy managing the manufacturing facility doesn't have a job if there's nobody there to unload the truck with raw material to manufacture what they're manufacturing. If this guy can get it unloaded, but there's nobody there to take it in the building and distribute it to the different people that got to do whatever they got to do. There's no such thing as an unimportant part. And thank you for bringing this up, because that's something that a lot of you people out there looking for mags or not going to these prepper meetups or whatever, y'all are freaking out because, well, I don't have anything to offer. How do you know? Can you sew? If you can sew the legs on a stuffed bunny rabbit, guess what? You can take that same needle and thread while somebody holds somebody down who got their leg ripped open by a sow or hog or whatever. You can wash that out. You can throw some alcohol on it and throw a cross stitch in there, and I bet it holds together till it heals up. Or you can sew bunnies for everybody so they can get little comfort animals. There's no such thing as unimportant skill. Every skill is going to be needed sooner or later. Your willingness to participate in the team, your willingness to be helpful to the other people in the group, your willingness to be committed to the tribe should be enough. Because whatever your skills are, KK's a nurse, Rob's electrician, I don't know about MI prepper, let me see who else I know. LS, I think can cook. LS can cook. Rachel, I don't know what you do. People need to talk to me more often instead of just chat and stuff. Mrs. West, she knows how to run a backhoe and shoot and throw knives. But y'all get what I said? I mean, Lily can climb trees with chicken eggs in her pocket. Did y'all know that? That's an important skill. Not everybody can do that.
I can tell right now that I am not on Mrs. West's favorites list because I am the sewage disposal guy.
Hey, Rob, did you ever go watch our video on, or Mrs. West's video on a 10 whatever? You got picked. You need to go find out what your job is. I'll be right back. I have my coffee got cold.
Smalley, you're not allowed to be that quiet on the chat.
Yeah, sorry about that.
I understood
Most of the
everything
time, anyways.
you said. That was very good.
What? So what's going on up there in Ohio?
Well, see,
Ohio,
Oh, Wes is back. We can stop talking about him now. What's going on up here is, well, I got to go to work in the morning, and I work in a very dangerous job. I work in a gun shop. And you know what kind of danger I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, pocketbook danger.
Yeah, getting ready for archery season coming up in a couple weeks.
What did I miss?
Nothing.
Did you ever figure out what that old upside down, backwards, going in there wrong was all about? On your that 1 in a million loadout you had on that.
I
one
know
round?
exactly what. Oh, okay. You're talking about that malfunction. I've
Yeah,
got that completely on video, but I'm not releasing it because when I was out there knocking the bullet out of the gun, I went into the house to get some tools, and one of the things because I didn't want to come up with a hard hammer in case I had to hit it, but I got a bullet puller, so if I had to do some tapping, that plastic wasn't going to hurt nothing.
yeah.
But that bullet puller being on the table can completely legitimize the whole video because what had happened is so unbelievable. I mean, if it didn't happen to me, I would not believe it. My first test that I did, because I was doing the torture test on those grips for the pistol, well, I was spraying first gun oil, and then I poured motor oil over the gun too. And some of that gun got into the magazine, which caused the bullet to come out early because it was really slippery.
Yeah.
So before, the gun was not ready for a bullet to come out when it was still had another bullet coming out of the barrel. So when that bullet came up, the new bullet hit the casing from the old bullet that was being ejected. It knocked the bullet out of the brass, and the brass got knocked into the barrel, and the brass flipped around in a 180. And as the action on the gun closed, it pushed the brass into the loading position, but it was backwards. So
It was something like that.
yeah, and it was. I mean, when I tapped that out of there and it fell out, it was like crazy.
And you said there was like gunpowder all in the
Yeah.
workings too, wasn't there?
Oh yeah, the gunpowder was on the inside of it because when the bullet came out of it, it separated the bullet out of the brass, so that let the gunpowder just fly all over the place.
That's we were talking about reloading and stuff like that, and my brother being funny. Funny guy. This was his gun, but I borrowed it to go deer hunting, and he said, "Here you go. These will be better." So he gave me a box of bullets. It was call hunt, so we had to take a doe before we could shoot a buck.
Mm-hmm.
This doe jumped. She was huge, man. I was like, "Yeah, all right." I chambered my round. I pulled the trigger, and he had hot loaded it with black powder. I have freaking fire 20-foot long coming out the end of the gun. Not choking to death. I love that, man. That was funny, sorta.
Did you get it? Did you get the deer?
I thought I did. But right as I pulled the trigger, and the bullet's going slow, mind you, because somebody put black powder in there. A bucket come up and it moved, and she turned. As I'm pulling the trigger, she's turning. It wouldn't have mattered if it had been regular powder. I'd have still knocked her down, but she went down. I gave it a full count of 120. She didn't get up. I'm like, cool, I'll go over there. And she gets up and she runs away. And I can see I'd cut the bullet grazed down her side. She had a really nice, nasty burn, but the bullet was traveling so slow that when she turned, it hit, bounced off a rib, and gave her a cut and exited on down. It was hard enough to knock her down, and she's going to be sore for weeks. But no, I did not get the deer. Thank you.
Sounds like it went off the shoulder.
Went off with something. It was annoying. And anyway, I got home. I said, man, the gun did blah, blah, blah. And you could just see it. His blue eyes just watering up and stuff. He was trying so hard not to laugh. I said, you did that on purpose. But anyway, I've got all them reloads he's got back in there. I'm scared to death that I'm going to find more of them in there that are like that. Just because it's him. So I guess I just need to learn to reload and just shoot every one of them until I find the ones that I've never seen fire come out the end of a rifle that far into my entire life. And it didn't kick that hard, so I know it wasn't a double load or anything like that. It just breathed fire, and then there was this huge cloud of smoke.
That's something you pull on something at a shooting range, not out when you're hunting.
He wasn't getting to go that year. I think it was a little payback. So, I mean, come on. Your brother can't go hunting with you, but you go ahead and borrow his rifle anyway. And it's the second year you're doing that to him. It was my bad for not buying my own ammo. Should have known better.
Oh, so you used his rifle, went on a hunting trip, and didn't take him.
Yes.
Okay,
Twice.
I can understand that.
It was the second year, and and it was the year before that I'd got the aoudad. On the other trip he didn't get to go on, I got the aoudad. So, and then I asked to borrow his rifle again to go back to the same place again that he's still not going to get to go to. And because he couldn't get off that weekend, it was horrible. He has one trophy at his house that he keeps from a deer hunt.
Mm.
And it is a shattered rack. He saw the deer. It was, and this, I'm telling you, my brother was an excellent shot. The deer was 350 yards out. He makes the adjustment. He gets him, and he shoots. And that's a long way. That bullet's got to go a long way. He shoots, and the deer turns after he's pulled the trigger, and instead of hitting the deer where he was aiming, the deer had moved its head and turned around to scratch itself or whatever, and the bullet hit the deer at the base of its antlers, shattered the rack all to pieces. Killed the animal deader than a hammer, but it shattered the rack. So he's got the one side of the antlers that are in one piece, and he's got all these busted pieces of antler in a spent casing, and that's his trophy he's got on the wall. He killed a deer by shooting it in the antlers. You just don't get to do that real often.
Wow.
It's things like that if you could ever get it on YouTube, it would be a million hits, But I never thought about carrying a camera with me everywhere I went until 2 years ago. It just never occurred to me. I would carry, I'd pull my phone out every once in a while and take a picture of my kids or something, but never, back then it was a little flip phone. I still got the flip phone around there somewhere. I'll never throw nothing away. I guess Mrs. says I'm a hoarder. She just doesn't understand me.
This bull season, I'm going to take my trail cameras and set them around the tree stand where I'm at. because I know I can't hold my phone and try to video and shoot a bow at the same time. But at least this way I'll have a ground view.
What's your craziest hunting story? Craziest thing, the weirdest thing that's ever happened when you're trying to take it in or whatever?
Yeah, that's hard. Sitting in a tree and a horned owl landing right beside me and having a stare down contest with it at 6 inches. Going squirrel hunting, and I had 2 squirrels. I stayed in my one spot because it was a really good one. So I'd shoot the squirrels, and they dropped down at the bottom of the tree, and I'd watch where it was. And I had 2 squirrels on the ground. A hawk came over and took one of them, and a coyote came over and nailed the other one. And we didn't, and no coyotes had been seen in Ohio at this time, and my dad didn't believe me. Yeah.
Yep.
Yes, little things like that.
You got any good ones, Smolo?
I was out. I was squirrel hunting one time as a kid, and was walking through a swamp, and almost came within 6 inches of stepping on a cottonmouth. That was pretty scary.
That's something you don't want to do. I can attest to that firsthand. Get to bring your phone, step out the back door, and have to cuss and throw your phone and jump and everything else because there's giant poisonous snakes everywhere. My den is no longer a snake den, though. That problem has been rectified. I hope. My weirdest one is that, I guess, probably that, and knocking the deer down and getting up and running off. And it stopped. She stopped in the tree line, turned around and looked back over at me. When she did that, she wasn't 35 yards away. And I had the gun in my hand, and I thought about, I was picking it up, fixing to shoot her again. I'm like, wait, same ammo. So I just let her go. Because, I didn't know if it was safe to shoot her that close. I would have set her on fire.
Now, this isn't my story, but I was there and I witnessed it. My neighbor shot a big buck, and, I was hunting near the property line, heard him shot, seen him over there, so I went on over. And there's a big, beautiful buck laying there on the ground. And he's got his gun laying up on the buck's rack. He's all still shaking, but admiring it. And I'm congratulating him. Yes, the deer got up and ran off with his gun.
Oh, man, that's ours. I shall not mention any names, but this really tough old dude that I know is not me. He was driving down the road to oil field, and it's late. They work long hours. He's coming back from 2 hours south, and there's a road that's known for deer. Anyway, boing, boing, boing. Sure enough, he smacks the buck, and he stops, get out. He's more worried about the truck, but he checks the truck's not damaged or whatever. And he looks back there. There's not another set of headlights for miles. There's this huge buck back there that he's just killed. He doesn't have a pocket knife or anything. He goes back, he throws the back end of his truck open. It's a wireline truck. So there's like a little office in the back. He opens it up. He throws the deer in there, the dead deer in there, and he closes it. Gets back up. He's going down the road. And then you hear something. And now you can get to the front of the truck from the back of the truck. He hears something moving around, and he looks over his shoulder, and the deer has gotten up. He did not kill the deer. The deer was knocked out. That's why the truck wasn't damaged. He hadn't got that good a hit on it. and he carried a pistol with him, and he actually said, I had my hand on the pistol, was fixing to pull it out, and I was going to finish it, and then I remembered that I carried explosives on the truck. So he said, I'll stop that truck real fast. I jumped out and I opened that back door. And he said the deer jumped out and run off. That could have gone bad real fast. But if y'all don't know what a wireline truck is, like they do testing and other stuff or whatever. But after they set the well or whatever, they actually do a thing called perforating, or there's several things, but they use explosives for it. Like if tubing gets stuck and they can't get it out, a pump gets stuck or whatever, they can't get out of the hole, they'll actually run explosives down there. They'll blow the charge and it'll sever the pipe. Then pull the good pipe out and then go down there, and then they only got to drill out however much of the pipe that they can't separate or whatever with the explosives. So they keep detonators and dynamite and all that stuff on these trucks. So, you know, in retrospect, he said he probably shouldn't have put the deer back there anyway. He was just lucky it didn't jump on the wrong box. Because, you know, those wireline trucks, the back of them is probably about the size of a big, like a church bus van or something like that. So, you know, 4 or 5 sticks, half sticks of dynamite going off at one time would be a bad day. What else are we talking about? What's going on over here in the side chat? Anything good? How long we been in here?
Oh, wow.
No, I haven't been able to see the side chat the whole time.
Oh, really? Oh, well,
Yeah.
that's good because they're talking all kinds of trash about you. I'm just joking. They didn't say nothing bad. Lily's leaving.
Yeah. Good night, Lily.
Good night, Lily. Why won't it stop? Yeah, it was
I've been told that L. Stewart's asking me a question, but I can't see it.
where I did not see what is it? What?
For LS. Sorry, L.
You did not know what a wireline truck was for, Rob? Holy cow! That no disrespect. I mean, there's a lot of people out there who don't know what it's for. Oh, that's bigger than the last one I saw, Wes. When Wes was talking about a giant centipede, we were fixing the front doors on a church. That was it, 1936? Church was built in 19. Anyway.
Yeah, we weren't working on it.
We weren't working on it in 1936, but the church was built in 1936, and we were replacing the front doors because they were rotten. And anyway, tore it out, and this centipede, straight out of a horror movie, come running out from under the church. I was like, it was, I don't know, probably 13, 14 inches long, like that far across. I was up on a pole, screaming like a girl. It was pretty. It was like pink with red feet. I mean, looked like something out of a toy store or whatever.
Everybody say hello to Mrs. Smolo, Lady Luck Ducky.
Where she? Hello, Luck Ducky. Oh, she's got a little rubber ducky.
Yeah, she's been creeping the whole time.
She's been, what do you call it? What do you call that, Chipper? Lurking? Is he still in here, or did he go?
I'm sure he's lurking.
He's probably still lurking. He's just sitting over there
Yes.
stitching his hula hoop.
Chipper's lurking.
So now we know why Smolo's been so quiet. He's being censored.
Yeah. I've got to be
Oh, here-
very careful.
Here we go.
I used to try that whole, like, be careful what I said because my wife could hear me and stuff. And then I realized that, it's YouTube. She can play it back if she wants to. So I gave up on all that. I just live a very open and fearful life. Just the way it is.
She wanted to know she was asking Smolo, trying to see what they preferred to hunt down there.
Oh, what do they prefer to hunt in Florida?
That's what LS.
That's what LS was asking Smolo.
I missed it. I'm sorry. What was the question?
The question, Smolo, Lakeisha S. would like to know, what is the preferred animal y'all like to hunt in Florida?
I think the general thing is deer around here. I'm not much of a big game hunter at all. Never have been. I just the smaller stuff, rabbits, squirrels, things like that myself. But there's a lot of people that hunt the big stuff, and that's mostly the hogs and deer.
Daniel, God is my judge. What do you prefer, deer or hog hunting?
Well, I don't have any hogs up here yet, so it's a deer.
Come get some.
Yeah, we got some hogs in southern Ohio, and if I ever get the opportunity to go somewhere to go hog hunting, I'm there.
We're actually working on a place down here where we're going to go get some hog. It's weird. Everybody wants the hogs gone, but then when they find out that people from the big cities will pay them money to come down here and shoot one, all of a sudden the wild hogs aren't a nuisance anymore.
Yeah, they're making big money off of it, but when they start getting overpopulated, they got to pay the guys in the helicopters to come out and shoot them.
They don't pay those guys. They just complain until the people in the helicopters gets paid by the government to come do it, and that's lame. I'm willing to go out there and do it for free, buddy, or I'll pay you $50 a day. Something reasonable. But now I've got to pay extra on my taxes and everything else because you've got a bird that costs $300 an hour to keep in the air, and a guy throwing $200 or $300 an hour worth of ammo out the side of the bird. I've got to pay for that. And whether he's pulling the trigger or not, it's costing me $1,000 to $1,500 an hour for that bird to be in the air as a taxpayer. That's a load of crap. Just saying, load of crap.
LS says, "Ha, Wes gives my first name and Smolo gives my last name. I don't know why I tried."
Everybody knows your first name, Lakeisha. I didn't say the last name. That was smoking. I didn't do that.
But she's got LS. That's what you're supposed to call her.
LS.
Hey, it used to be the whole thing. In my defense, it was
fair,
there.
man. What's the deal? She can't change the rules and not send anybody little homing pigeons or whatever. Where's my homing pigeon with the nose?
Wins out.
All right, Westwood. I think the missus said we've been here for 2 hours or something. Oh, this ain't the right. I'm trying to get it to tell me how long we've been in here. Oh, no, wait. It gives you a running time on. How did that get big? I just broke my computer. Hold on. I got this. No, I didn't break my computer. I just pushed the wrong button.
2 hours and 10 minutes.
2 hours and 10 minutes. Wow, ain't none of us got lives. Anyway, any question? any questions for the panel before we call it a night? Except for LS.
Boy, those
Gee.
questions are just blazing up there, aren't there?
Yeah, if you have to put like what do you call it? Asking the question. Like, what sign are you? Stuff like that. Question mark, question mark, question mark. She could be like, she changed it from the L to Larry, and then everybody just call her Larry, and nobody will know who we're talking to.
Well, Rob Painless came up a question. Daniel, are you going to put out some more sticky traps to shoot your doves off this week? We don't really do dove hunting up here, Rob, but we do a lot of turkey hunting. So I want you to come on up.
Oh, that's a funny question. Who, what, when, where?
Golden Atkins.
Good night, Golden Atkins. Wait a minute. There was another question. Oh, I heard. Hey, LS. We've already told you can ask some questions, but that's okay. I've heard Wes answer before, but when did Daniel and Smolo realize they were preppers? We'll let Smolo go first. Smolo, when did you realize that you were of a prepper mindset? Please address her as LS.
Okay, LS. I would say, I don't know, I've always been the outdoor type, but probably around 2002, there was a big hurricane that came through and knocked out power for a good week. And, when you go without power, and luckily I was on a small town, but we had well water or city water, and I was on gas at the time, but it was a pretty big eye opener. I'd never been through one that had done that kind of damage before, so that's pretty much it. Hurricanes.
There's one of those that lives close to her.
There actually is. That's funny. Good answers, huh? And you, Daniel.
Well, let's see. I was laid up in bed after spinal reconstructed, and I just started YouTube, and I'm looking around for things that interest me. Because you can only listen to so many audiobooks, but you got to have some social interaction. And Smoking Locust was actually one of the first people that I subscribed to, and just listen to what he talked about and stuff. And it was just kind of
Sorry I put you through that.
not a problem. I mean, you see how I started my whole VR trolls. That's when I was just getting up out of bed. I just started VR trolling everybody. I haven't trolled Smolo yet.
Oh, man. Uh-oh. I don't know. I think you threatened to put me in a box once.
No, I put Matt A in the box.
Matt A in the box. What do you call it? Used to VR troll a lot of people, man. I liked it. That's funny. That's the only thing I hate about, and that's the Brian. I got to reword that, and because I don't believe in Freudian slips. That is the only downside to the success of my channel so far, is the lack of time I have to watch other people's content. It's yeah, she did. Now a lot of you people, that is the YouTube watching this person I've ever seen in my life. She she'll come over here and she'll check and see who I'm subscribed to and who I'm following, and she'll go in there and she'll watch your videos and give you the thumbs up and stuff. And she watches them all the way through. It's crazy. She's I mean, y'all see me. I'll go around. I'll try to bounce around and comment on everybody's stuff or whatever. But people are subscribing to me, so I figure I owe them the content or whatever. I've got hours of footage that I got to go through, but I don't know. I've been doing too many live streams lately. I think I need to. Usually, the time I would be editing or whatever the videos, I've been here doing these live chats, which are fun. I mean, I love doing these things. So, but anyway.
You know, a live chat that I've been thinking about doing is getting out there. You know, since I've started working in this gun shop, I mean, in the gun industry, the women are the fastest growing part of it. But usually they got their boyfriend or husband there, and the husband's trying to tell them what they want. But it's like you need to get some people in here where the ladies can ask questions about it, so they can learn and buy what they want.
Yeah, that's, you know, you can say, okay, well, this is what a woman's going to want, or this is what the lady's going to like, or yada yada yada. But how about we let the ladies tell the other ladies what it is they bought and what it is they like, you know, kind of deal. Or somebody who does enough of it to, you know the truth or whatever. You know, I never would have believed that my wife actually prefers the longest, heaviest rifle I own. But that's what she likes to shoot. You do not want to be on the other end of it. You know, and she really likes a revolver. I would have thought she'd much rather have something she can just go bang, bang, bang. But, you know, we think we know all that stuff, but we don't.
And it's like this: if you talk your wife or girlfriend into a certain gun, and if they end up don't liking it, who do you want to be mad at? Do you want to be mad at the salesman or yourself?
Yeah.
The salesman don't have to live with her.
There you go. And I wish it was, and this is, I don't need to be ugly or whatever, but I mean, truth in advertising. If you're going to shoot a gun, I don't care if they're buying the ammunition or gave you the gun for free or not, you need to tell the truth about it. You know, on these YouTubers that do the guns and stuff, if the gun's a piece of crap, the gun's a piece of crap. And I'm sorry, not all Glocks are created the same. Not all anything's created the same. And if you buy a product and it's not any good, you need to tell the truth, like B.A. did with that umbrella. I mean, it was a piece of junk. So, call it what it is. I mean, how many people when they first come out were talking about those? Dang, now I came the High Point, telling people, "Oh, they're just as good as blah blah blah," and then everybody started buying High Point, and the High Points weren't much at all. Not for the most part, anyway. I think High Point, if they, and it's my personal opinion, not a specialist or anything, but I think if they would rein in their tolerances a little bit on some of the key components, I think they might have better luck. That's just me.
Sure.
Really? Did y'all know that the M60 light machine gun was prone to horrific jamming and failure shortly after it was brought into play by the United States military.
Yep, that was because they loaded the ammo with a different powder once it went on to major line production.
That, and with the tolerances they had set for a specific part of the bolt function right. They didn't have to change the powder. They had to go in and change the tolerances on that part because, like, imagine the tolerances on something or this triangular shape. All right. Now, it makes sense if it's a square, okay? But that's set where, in theory, this point would be the same as this point in the absence of tolerances. It wasn't true, because if you were over here on, the tolerance was over here on this part, and then on the receiver, it was over here on this part, it was like this far apart. So not all the guns malfunction, but the ones that did malfunctioned consistently. And no matter what they did, they checked, and then everything showed to be within tolerances. Everything should have been fine, but it wasn't. So they had the bolts remachined, or new bolts machined to new specs, put the gun together, went to working on it. Tolerances, there's a reason for them. You can't change them just because you don't want to throw parts away. FYI. Tolerances are no longer square, but it's not plus or minus X number. Tolerances are now this. They're not square, they're round. If y'all care. If you think about it, if it's going to work on a square on this point and work on the square on this point, then why wouldn't it work anywhere around that, the diameter of what would be a circle around the outside of that deal? And you can actually take those far outside corners on your tolerances and shrink them in, but make it a circle, pass infinitely more, well, not infinitely, but I think it increase 30 or 40% of your, what would be outside of tolerances are now inside the tolerances, and your tolerances are actually closer. It makes for a better product with less waste in the manufacturing, better working piece of equipment. And I'm talking like an engineer, and I'm going to shut up. Y'all can tell me to shut up.
I'm sorry, Wes, what was that? I fell asleep.
Yeah, there you go. See, that's what I would have done. We got revolted man sneaking in here super late at night in Texas sun. Y'all do realize we've been in here like forever, and I was fixing to get off here. I think Daniel fell asleep because I was rattling on about technical stuff that really doesn't matter to anybody. I get passionate about tolerances. I don't know if y'all know that or not. If it's going to work, it's going to work. How many people did I miss saying hi to? Like 1 million?
Most of them.
Most of them? You got anything good to tell us, Smoking? Tell us something good. Hey, Rob, did you watch that video yet? Sorry. I want to know if Rob found out that you and him are working on the same side of a different coin or whatever on our bug out. YouTube team thing.
I must have missed something.
You didn't see the video either? Oh,
Lolo did.
Smolo,
I
how
saw the
you and Rob have to be on the same like part of the team or whatever for our bug out, our 10 YouTubers or whatever.
Oh yeah, I did see that. That's right. Okay, that was pretty funny.
Now, I don't think Rob's seen it yet because he hadn't commented. He hadn't objected yet, so I guess we're gonna go ahead and sign him up.
We're like the cleanup crew.
It's that man loves his little girls, so
Yeah, man, I've
yeah.
got quite a few around here myself.
Mrs. Wes S. has a video on her channel about you, Mr. Robert. Well, you and other people.
Why is it everybody wants Staff Sergeant on their team? Haven't you guys seen him? That guy is a really big guy. You're going to have to feed him a lot of sandwiches to keep him happy.
A lot of sandwiches. I need him for his truck, man.
No.
I think. Go ahead.
I got a stockpile of crayons.
Don't get me wrong. I love Staff Sergeant like a brother. But everybody wants him, so I just got to throw that out there. He's going to eat all your food. And then he's going to use that Taekwondo stuff there, to fight you off when you're trying to get, the last candy bar.
Well, see, you got to realize that, having been there, there's other things that come with Staff Sergeant besides just an appetite, a giant dog, and qualified medic as a wife. There's so much more. And besides, you can like point him at somebody and say, "Get him," and you don't have to worry about it.
I mean, he's got the kung fu skills. I mean, he's got the leather work. He's got the talents. He knows how to camping. He knows how to work his way around the weapons and everything. Yes. And he's a really easygoing guy, too.
The only problem is he's going to eat lots of groceries.
He's going to eat all your groceries.
You know what? That's
Gummy
another
bears.
That's another reason for having these meetups, so you can watch the people eat and see which ones of them are going to be the heavy calorie intakers.
And you see, Revolting Man just stole my thunder. I was going to say, you ever see Sippy, how small she is? It kind of averages out.
Yeah. That's how but then you got the little little Ellie Bell or whatever. She's like having a little pocket ninja or whatever. Be like, Ellie, they're stealing your candy. Like having a little ferret cut loose on you or something.
Talking to the kids or the dog?
The kids.
Yeah. Oh, kids are all right. Kids got a free pass.
Dude,
they can eat as much as they want.
He's seriously raising them kids straight up hillbilly. Y'all got a problem with a toy? There's one toy. There's three of y'all. Y'all fight it out. Whoever wins gets it. Not exactly like that, but they're cool.
Now you got to do everything you can for the kids, because just remember, they're the ones that's going to take care of you when you're old.
That's my son is fond of saying. You do realize I'm the guy who gets to pick your nursing home, right? Whatever, dude. Here's the $50.
All right. Well, I'm going to have to sign out here soon.
Yeah, I'm wiped out too.
Now that we started talking smack about Staff Sergeant, now he's going to be mad at us.
And he's closer to you than he is to me.
I think if he watches this, what it's going to be is he's going to be laughing his butt off because you know what? He's got a sense of humor.
That's the best part about it. He's got a sense of humor.
Yeah.
You got to push him pretty hard to get him to go off. And trust me, in the missus tried. We're actually, she thinks it's a game to find people's buttons and push them. I don't know. It's just crazy.
Oh, she speaks my language.
Exactly. I'll take it along just fine. You know, when you find people's buttons or whatever, and you realize where their cutoff switch is or whatever, you can back off. You know, there ain't no sense in making enemies out of somebody to have fun. And she's real good about that part too. But she was waiting tables when I met her. She's like the best waitress ever. And that's honestly, if I had to choose a short order cook, between a short order cook and a waitress, I only had one spot left in my mag, and there was a short order cook or a waitress. I would take the waitress. A good one, if they were a good one.
Yes, because they know how to be nice to people, even when those people are jerks.
They work harder than anybody else. They know how to shut a situation down before it gets bad. They take somebody who's having a bad day and get them turned around. They're a therapist, a bartender, a hard worker. They're all this rolled up into one. Waitress is a hard job. And if you're good at it, you've got skills. The end. So if you can be a waitress, you can be anything. You can be a doctor if you can be a waitress. A good waitress. There's a lot of people that are out there waiting tables now that probably shouldn't be. You have to like waiting tables too. Yes, we're going to get off now. I got that was the sounding bell, peoples. Anyone? No, I don't do. Some of the people in the chat might. If anybody wants to start up an after show and like let all these people go over there, y'all sound off in the chat real quick. And they can all jump over there and harass y'all. All right. Anyway, anybody got anything to say before?
Well, Wes, thanks for the invite.
Hey, thanks for stopping by, Daniel. Well, that was a good conversation, man. That was cool. We're going to have to do that more often. You might get on a little earlier next. You have something to talk about.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Anybody else? Anybody got anything? Anybody got anything y'all want to say to these people?
Hey, I appreciate you having me here, Wes, and it's good seeing you, everybody, which I can't really see. I haven't been able to see the chat, but I appreciate you guys supporting Wes and Daniel and myself. You're awesome.
And Smola, I'll show you how to do that. There's a way you can do the pop-out chat, and it'll show up on your Hangouts. I'll try to work that through you. We can get in the private Hangouts, and we'll work it out.
Okay.
All right.
I appreciate that.
Swallow, it's been nice talking to you. And next time you're on a chat, don't talk so much.
Yeah, I know. I think this is the second one I've ever been on, so I don't go live very often. I'm a little quiet. I apologize.
Don't apologize for nothing, man.
Yeah, you'll get it figured out, and then you'll be as hard to shut up as I am.
Yeah.
Hey, you stay over there in your corner.
Makes me seem smarter if I shut up. Huh?
No, not at Wes after show. Wes is not doing his own after show.
I just know when Smolo's video of him shooting his 270, it went click, and it's like, oh man, that is the loudest noise you ever hear in your life.
Yeah.
That's the worst possible thing. Because every time the round goes click, that was the bullseye.
Mm-hmm.
Everything was
No.
perfect for that.
It's the way it works.
Yes, and good to meet you, Lady Lucky Ducky, or whatever it was. What was it, Lady Lucky Ducky?
Yeah,
Be
Lady
nice.
Lucky Ducky.
Call her the LLD. But anyway, be nice to Smolo. We all like him. Like stuff. Don't.
And Rob, go watch that video.
Yeah, Rob, go watch that video. It's very important that you know your job and your position in the community, and that you don't get mad at me because it was Friday. Just joking. Anyway, that's it, people. I am going to sign out. Tell y'all that we love y'all. God bless y'all. Y'all stay alive. Don't die.